So as we all know, when those buildings came down, the whole world was in shock. But my stomach dropped because I knew at that moment the enormity. I knew right away that everyone was going to forget what happened at the beginning of that day. So these crew members' families, every year, everyone deserved credit on 9/11. Everybody does. But so did these first responders, I call them. They were hand-to-hand combat on them airplanes. And now this one here, this Flight 93, is just unbelievable to me. We've all been on airplanes, and probably all of us here, I don't know, maybe one or two of you might have got on an airplane one time and run into someone you know, but usually the high percent of the chance, you don't know anyone you get on an airplane. You sit out, you don't know who the stranger is across the aisle. Well, that morning there was only 40-something people on this plane, 93. Empty rows and everything. Nobody knew each other. They were all citizens. They weren't military personnel. And all of a sudden at 9 o'clock, the horror started. And they were witnessing it. They looked down the aisle. There's one aisle on that airplane. You lean out, you could see the cockpit door. They could see what was going on. There's pilots being pulled out of the cockpit. It was a gruesome scene. I get emotional when I tell you. Because can you imagine at 9-something in the morning seeing that? We're not used to seeing that stuff, and it was pretty bad. So they made their phone calls to their families and told them, we'll give you something, people being stabbed on the plane or whatever, and their families tell them 2 planes just hit the towers. And can you imagine? At that point, they look at they hang up the phone and they're with strangers. We got to do something. After hanging up with your family member, and they band together, strangers band together on a plane, and they say we better do something to take this back. And everybody knows the famous words. Todd Beamer said, "Let's roll." Well, before that was said, some of them looked out the windows and said, "Wait a minute." They saw lights. Wait a little bit. I'm not popular here. Can you imagine?
Can everyone start?
Wait a little bit, not popular here. Under those conditions, they were thinking about us on the ground down here because they knew when they attacked them, it was probably over. Now, if that's not an American hero, I don't know what is. That they could say, wait, before they attack them. Because that's crazy. So, the movie 93 and everything else that's done doesn't do it justice in my eyes.
No.
Really, the whole world should be saying, oh my God, because if you sit yourself in one of those seats while I tell that story and picture that insane scene that we're going through, to be able to pull together, it's the least I can do is push a car down the street. That's the way I look.
Thank you, sir.